Out in the wild, a good camp grill can make or break your trip. Over the past 2 seasons, I've had the chance to use 2 very different camping grills. The Skotti Grill, which I put away after just 1 season, and the Blackstone Adventure Ready Griddle, which I just fired up for the first time this year. Today, I'm going to give you my honest experience, the good, the bad, and which one I'd recommend if you want reliable cooking at camp. Welcome back to the channel, folks, and thank you so much for your continued support. It is because of you that I get to continue to make these kinds of videos. So let's get into it. Let's start out with the Skotti Grill. On paper, it's clever. It's a clever concept with a clever design. It's lightweight, it packs flat, and it's a stainless steel grill that is supposed to have multi-sources for fuel. You can assemble it anywhere. I was excited when I got mine, and it seemed like the perfect piece of gear for lightweight camping and or tailgating. But after 1 season, just 1 season, the problems started to pile up. The biggest issue, warping parts. Stainless steel is durable, but when thin panels get exposed to repeated high heat, they bend. And that's exactly what happened. The fit that once felt precise became loose, and suddenly assembly wasn't so snug anymore. It became a bit of a pain in the ass. Also, it caused the grill to come apart, and that actually melted the bag that it was stored in and transported in. So the second issue was flame control, or rather lack thereof it. If you hook up the small little gas canisters with the included braided line, you do get a little knob that controls the flame. But I actually never used that line in those canisters. I use this setup for car camping, and I enjoy actual meals when I go camping, so I prefer to use the 1-pound propane canisters. Now, Skotti offered a solution for this, and it seemed to be okay at first, but later it just seemed that that design didn't give you much ability to adjust the flame either. It just ran hot all the time. It made it really hard to cook anything delicate. Okay, you're basically stuck grilling all the things with the hope that they come out not too burned. So finally, the nail in the coffin for me was that Skotti actually pulled out of the US market. At first, I thought maybe I had just gotten a dud, and the company was great to send out a replacement burner and bottom panel after it warped. And it seemed like they were open to suggestion to improve the design. I don't know if more people raised concerns, but the company actually decided to stop selling in the States. And why they did this, I don't know. They made a statement on their website, and they claim that it's just too expensive with them being headquartered overseas and tariffs, but we'll just never know. Anyway, it was time to move on and find a new solution because the product just wasn't going to hold up long term. Now, fast forward to this season, and I did use this grill on my first few camping trips, but something new was on the horizon. The Blackstone Adventure Ready Camping Griddle. Now, this is last year's model, and there's already a newer version, but I'm going to tell you what my first impression is about it so far, and it's been awesome. Setup was the first surprise, and I don't think it comes as a surprise to anybody. Compared to the fiddling with multiple panels on the Skotti Grill, the Blackstone was essentially plug and play. Opening it up for the first time, you do have to remove the regulator from underneath the griddle top, and it took a second to figure out how to secure that griddle top back to the base, but then you hook up the propane and you're cooking in minutes. Now, when it comes to cleaning, if you've ever used a cast iron flat top, you know it's all about seasoning, scraping, and wiping it down. Now, the Blackstone surface for this griddle is a ceramic aluminum flat top, and it makes this process just easy and straightforward. It cleans up fast. Even after cooking some greasy stuff on it, you just wiped it away after putting up a little bit of oil and heat, and it was done. Now, you can't use metal utensils on it because it'll scratch the surface. So, of course, Blackstone has some plastic ones, and you can buy it, or you can probably just find your own on Amazon or online. Now, where it really shines is its cooking capacity. Now, this thing is a workhorse. With the Skotti, you could maybe grill 2 or 3 small items at a time, and you had to use something else to make vegetables. With the Blackstone, We laid it all out. I laid down a bunch of sausages, a pile of potatoes, and still had room for some pancakes on the side. The ability to cook everything all at once is a game changer for group camping. No more waiting around while food comes off in shifts. Everyone gets to eat together, and it's hot and ready, and it's just awesome. Yes, of course, it's heavier than the Skotti. I'm sure everyone is saying that. But this thing isn't a backpacking stove. It's for car camping, tailgating, or overlanding. And if you're okay with the extra bulk, you get far more reliable cooking. Now, if we're being honest here, the Skotti was not a backpacking stove either. It was too big to put in a pack. So here's my takeaway, guys. The Skotti was an interesting experiment, but it did not hold up. Warping parts, poor flame control, and eventually the company pulling back from the United States all point to it being more of a novelty than a long-term solution. Do I think a round 2 could be in the future? I do hope so. I did love the idea of it, and I did love its compact design. But now on the other hand, the Blackstone Adventure Ready Griddle, it's not perfect for a couple of reasons, but it's close, and it is very practical. It's easy to use, and it's great for feeding groups. Even though this is last year's model, it's still a solid piece of gear. Now, if you're a solo backpacker, you're going to want something much, much smaller. But if you're camping with friends or family and you want the convenience of a big, flat cooking surface, the Blackstone makes outdoor cooking feel like home. So if I had to choose, hands down, the Blackstone is it wins, right? You cannot beat it. It's not just a grill. It's an outdoor kitchen that works. And there's a reason why these things come in some of these smaller campers. So thank you so much for watching. If you tried either of these grills, let me know what your experience is in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more outdoor gear reviews and my honest first impressions. We'll see you at camp. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared. I'm out.